Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. This is a historic day for Connecticut, the city of Hartford, and for UConn. A few minutes ago, UConn's Board of Trustees voted to formally approve the key agreements that will allow us to establish and build a new UConn campus right here in downtown Hartford. And in a few minutes, we will sit at this table and sign those agreements. What this means is that after months of preliminary work, due diligence, and planning, the vision for a UConn campus in downtown Hartford can become a reality. In the fall of 2017, this campus, to be known simply as UConn Hartford, will open its doors and will be home to more than 2,500 students, faculty, and staff. This is an extraordinary moment. It's a homecoming. A UConn campus was originally established in Hartford 75 years ago in 1939. After many years and many moves, it relocated to West Hartford in 1970, where it has remained. Its original mission was to provide an urban educational experience for our students, and that's our future. This is a campus where public policy, social work, and business are key fields, among many others. Close connections to city and state government and the businesses and institutions that call this city home are essential to carrying out that urban educational mission effectively. There is no better place to house a campus like this than the one in downtown Hartford. Here we can best serve our students and contribute to the health and the vibrancy of this downtown and the city as a whole by bringing thousands of faculty, students, staff here every week, not to mention visitors, businesses that will surround them. A century from now, UConn will still be here, a thriving city, a thriving campus in a thriving city. And our successors will know that today was the day UConn Hartford began its return to the place it belonged. None of this would be possible without the support and commitment from our Governor, Daniel Malloy, as well as Lieutenant Governor Wyman, our leaders in the Connecticut State Legislature, Mayor Pedro Segarra, HB Nitkin, represented here today by Helen Nitkin, CRDA, represented today by Mike Freemuth, OPM, represented by Karen Buffkin, and of course our Board of Trustees, led by Larry McHugh and Tom Ritter. For 20 years, Tom Ritter has wanted to see this day. Let me also recognize a few other people who join us today. Matt Ritter is in the audience. Ed Vargas, Brandon McGee, thanks so much for coming and supporting UConn. All of these people in different ways have shown yet again that amazing things are possible when there is a shared vision and a determination to see it through. So we owe each of them many of our deepest thanks. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Governor Daniel Malloy.
It's great to be with everybody. Thank you. I just want to say, stop. We got work to do. We got to cut that out. It's great to be with everybody. This has been a long time coming. I think it was wrong that UConn didn't have a major campus in downtown Hartford. It was a mistake. That mistake is now being corrected thanks to the leadership of President Herbst, as well as the board of the university and our partners in the city as well. This is an important day, but it is one of many important days as we look to the future of our capital city. As I stand before you, hundreds and hundreds, in fact, over 750 units of housing, much of it market rate, is under construction in downtown Hartford today. Something that most of us didn't think was possible just 3.5 years ago is now happening. There are other great signs with companies moving to Hartford and enlarging their footprints as well. But this particular dream, I think, is of particular note because it was spoken about for so long as a need to mark the capital city of Connecticut. And quite frankly, it was talked about for too long and too little action was taken. In President Herbst, we identified a great president of the university who leads, who really provides leadership. And she's been a fantastic partner in all that we are doing together to make sure that people understand the role of a flagship research institution in the state of Connecticut. And one of those major roles is to be an economic driver. And finally, UCONN is coming to be the economic driver in Connecticut that we all aspire for it to be. And this marks that occasion. You know, you can't think of Michigan without thinking of their university system, or Wisconsin, or North Carolina. And that is the case now in the state of Connecticut, where this university is routinely ranked in the highest echelons of public education. And of course it should have operations in Hartford. And of course we are happy to see those operations being brought together in this complex, strategically located to take advantage of all that Hartford has to offer. And it will itself offer much to Hartford as well. I want to say about Next Gen Connecticut, a repositioning of the university, allowing us to hire hundreds of faculty members, enlarge the undergraduate population by 6,800 students. That too is being marked on this occasion because some of that work will be done at this very site. So to all of you who have played some role, actually everyone who's a taxpayer is playing some role, but all of you played an advocacy role, a wishing role, a role to make sure that this day would happen and come to fruition. Thank you for what you've done. Mayor, thank you. The City Council is represented by the head of the City Council. Thank you for your work. To everyone on the dais and everyone in the audience. This is a great Hartford day. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor, for all your support in making this possible. Now it's an honor to introduce our Lieutenant Governor, Nancy Wyman.
Isn't she great? Come on. Give her. Susan is an amazing woman, and we're so glad that Susan decided to come to UCONN. We appreciate it. And it's a great day here to celebrate both our flagship university and our capital city. You know, a strong economy depends upon first-rate job pipeline, one that is built through a commitment to higher education and workforce training. Under the governor's leadership, we've made important, I think, investments in education. As mentioned, Next Generation Connecticut is one of these investments. UCONN's downtown campus expands access to higher education and strengthens the partnership that are critical for student access and student success. Students will be closer to the key resources, and the city will benefit from the bustle and activity that the university life brings with it. I want to take a moment to thank Governor Malloy, President Herbst, Mayor Segarra, and all the others that have brought UCONN Hartford campus from an idea to finally a reality. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. It's been a real pleasure over the past few months to work with the Mayor's office. So glad he's here today. He wouldn't miss it. Mayor Pedro Segarra, come on up.
Thank you, and I really don't think that we as a city have really come to recognize and appreciate what a historic day this day is. Perhaps for me, having been a graduate of the School of Social Work, as represented by my dean here today, and a graduate of the law school, maybe I can appreciate what the contributions these institutions have had for me personally, but more importantly, how through the use of that knowledge and those skills, I've been able to share it with our city, our community, and our state. And that is my hope and my desire as we strengthen this relationship by having UCONN be right here in the midst of our city, to have access to that base of knowledge, to have access to opportunities for not just our youth in our city, but also the youth outside of our city, to be able to have an urban environment within which to learn, work, and now with the governor's help, who I really do want to thank you, Mr. Governor, sincerely on behalf of the citizens, but most especially on behalf of the youth of our city. I want to thank you because we're not just working to strengthen institutions, we're strengthening a city, a great city, the great city of Hartford in the process. So I'm not going to promise you I'm not going to go through this all, but I just wanted to say that we have some great things in Hartford that we've lost over the years. And my commitment, Council President Wooden's commitment, our delegation's commitment, the Governor, Lieutenant Governor Wyman, Susan Herbst, the Board of Trustees, Mr. Ritter, thank you so much, Senator from Farrar. I want to thank all of you because we have shown that by working together, being strategic, we can accomplish anything we want to in this city. So I want to thank all of you for being here today, and I look forward to the 5th anniversary, the 10th anniversary, as many anniversaries as we can for this great institution. I want to thank my council colleagues that are here today because you've also supported me in things that are important for the city, and I want to thank you. So thank you so much again, and I really look forward to having these beautiful buildings go up and seeing more of you in the days to come. Thank you to our trustees. Thank you so much.
Senator John Fonfara, great friend to the university, absolutely critical in the passage of Next Generation Connecticut, which is our major STEM project, and I don't think we could have a better friend in the legislature with such a good sense of humor, too.
Thank you, President Herbst. Let me say I'm grateful for the opportunity to express my support and appreciation for the actions of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees bringing an undergraduate presence to downtown Hartford. I say this as a graduate of the University of Connecticut, as an alumnus of that structure known as the Hartford branch, as has been located in West Hartford for so many years, and as a state senator of the area where the new home for the Hartford branch will soon be. This day, as has been said, has been a long day in coming. We've dreamt it, we've pushed it, and I'm sure you'll agree, Tom Ritter, some of us never gave up. But it doesn't matter how long I or Tom Ritter or how many Hartford mayors or corporate leaders thought this move made sense long ago. The fact is it never happened. Governors have come and gone, university presidents have come and gone, and it never happened. But one governor, Daniel Malloy, his partner in government, Nancy Wyman, and his partner at the University of Connecticut, President Susan Herbst, a team we're most fortunate to have working together to not only make UCONN the best university, but because they see a much broader mission to impact our state and our long-forgotten cities in ways we haven't seen in at least a couple of generations. Rebuilding Hartford and other cities in Connecticut will take time, and no one move will address every need. But this is a big step, which I am confident, along with the other initiatives Governor Malloy and his team are making, will be the catalyst that will produce even more successes. And why I am proud to say on behalf of the residents of Hartford and the young people from all over the region, who but for this decision would likely never meet and share an important time in their lives together. We're grateful to you, Governor Malloy and President Herbst, for making Hartford a major part of your vision of Connecticut. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Angel. We have Representative Angel Arce, great friend to UCONN, also big help to us in the legislature and somebody who really believes in Hartford.
Before I get started, I see three of my colleagues here, and I want to welcome you to my district. This is a special time for me, really, because growing up in Hartford, I came here in '67, and I remember downtown, where that's where everybody wanted to be. The stores, the shops, the theaters, you name it, beautiful place to be. And I am grateful at the governor, because since he took office, he had put a lot of interest in downtown. And one of my goals as state representative was to see, in downtown being in my district, was to see downtown the way it used to be when I was growing up. The place where people wanted to come, the place where people wanted to shop. And with all this, not just with UCONN, but also with all this development that is coming into downtown, the apartments, that's going to bring economic development, and it's going to bring more people into downtown. So downtown will be growing, and I am proud to be the state representative of this district at this time, because I know that downtown is going to flourish like it was when I was growing up. Governor, I want to thank you for that effort. I want to thank you for doing everything possible to bringing downtown Hartford, the capital city, back to what it was once. I also like to welcome UCONN and thank them for choosing my district. So it's great to be here in this building. I remember this building when it was the Hartford Times. I was 7 years old when I first came out in the newspaper, and I got the biggest present in this community center. I got the biggest present, and the Hartford Times did a story. So I was there with a little kid, big present. So I'm glad that finally the building is going to be used to educate our people, and it's going to flourish downtown. We're going to see a lot of excitement in downtown, and I am grateful that UCONN is coming, and welcome to my district.
Now we have Chairman McHugh. Chairman Larry McHugh is the head of the UCONN Board of Trustees. He's a wonderful leader. He's my boss. So supportive in everything we do, visionary, and helped us to think about this campus and make it a reality. So thanks so much, Larry.
Just a few minutes ago, the Board of Trustees had our vote, and I like to recognize the board members that are with us here today. Andrea Dennis Levine, Tom Ritter, Sherry Cantor, Sandy Cloud, Rick Carberry, and Louise Bailey. Please stand and be recognized, all of you. Thank you for joining us today. As was mentioned, we are very fortunate at the University of Connecticut to have an outstanding leader in Susan Herbst. She has a vision, and that is a vision of excellence. And that is so important as we move forward to contribute to the economics of the state of Connecticut, and in this case, Hartford. I'm glad Oz Griebel is with us here today also from the Metro Chamber Alliance. About a year ago, the mayor and Sean Wooden, Adam Cloud, myself, and a few others from UCONN met at the Hartford Club to discuss our move into the city of Hartford. And from that meeting, this is what has developed. We are here, we plan on growing, and we plan on being a huge economic contributor to the city of Hartford. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Suzanne Hopgood and Michael Freemuth and the board of the Capital Region Development Authority and all of our partners in this region that is going to make this economic activity a huge success. In closing, I've been around higher ed for over 30 years now and have been appointed by 5 different governors. This project would not have happened if it wasn't for Governor Malloy. He gets it. No one has been more committed to higher education than Governor Malloy. His vision, pursuit of excellence, and outstanding leadership is moving UConn forward as one of the top public universities in our great country. I can't thank you enough, Governor, and say how proud I am of you and to work with you. Thank you very much. And now it's a great honor to introduce our Vice Chairman of the Board that in my first board meeting said to me, "What about Hartford?" He had a vision 20 years ago, and he has stayed by that vision and has been a tremendous partner of mine and a great, great leader, Tom Ritter.
Thank you very much, Larry. As someone who loves his hometown, his state, his university, and was a Hartford Times carrier, I really am coming home today. I hit a grand slam. As Larry said, this is something that's been a goal of mine for so many years, and what you may not know, Governor, was in the original bill, and Nancy remembers, Lieutenant Governor Wyman remembers, in the original bill, and one of the reasons why I really liked it being called UConn 2000 was we were moving. This move was supposed to take place in UConn in the year 2000. However, we had a few things we had to negotiate, which everybody's learning how that all happens. And unfortunately, my community lost out then, and we also did move North Stamford to downtown Stamford, and out of respect to the mayor in the first year. And anyway, so two great things. One great thing happened. One great thing got postponed. So I say maybe it took a kid from Hartford to get your branch downtown, and it took a great governor from Stamford to get our Hartford Times building here. So thank you. And let me just briefly say, we mentioned CERTA, but Mike has been great. And I went to a meeting there, and those of you who represent Hartford, we go to our meetings and everybody's talking at each other and nobody's trying to make sense. We had the most wonderful meeting where everybody who was getting state resources was actually realizing what can we do together to make downtown a better place. And we really appreciate your guidance, you and your board, for helping us along. And I think two things. One, this would be great for all the surrounding areas of the Hartford Library, the Wadsworth. We're committed to making this work for everybody. And lastly, as I always say to our great president, you'll be proud not only of our buildings, because who's in charge here, Laura and everybody else, but you're going to be very proud of who builds them. Okay, we have the job funnel here, which is extremely important to me. We will be doing job training for city residents. And again, you'll have a masterpiece being built, and you'll be very proud of everybody who will be participating in it. So it's a wonderful day. I appreciate very much this day happening, and I know it wouldn't happen except for everybody here. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Trustee Ritter mentioned her, but I just want to underscore how grateful we are to somebody on our staff, Laura Cruikshank. Why don't you stand up, please? She's our chief architect and master planner. She is an amazing woman, great leader, and tremendous imagination for what this campus could be. So it would not happen without Laura's unbelievable talents. So I'd like to invite Helen Nitkin of HP Nitkin to come on up. Michael Freeman from CRDA, and also Karen Buffkin from the Office of Policy and Management to join me on stage to formally sign the agreements. Thanks everybody for coming today. It's all official now. And look forward to working with all of you.